All right, good morning. This is a very different start to one of the vlogs. It is not the crack of dawn, it's actually 10 o'clock in the morning. Now, I have still been up since the crack of dawn. I got up at 4 o'clock this morning, but I did want to establish that I'm getting up so early, not because I'm automatically waking up at 4 a.m. I kind of am, but I'm also kind of not. It's still like my alarm goes off and I am waking up. But the reason I'm getting up so early is because I'm just excited to start my days. Now, that's not to also discredit the fact that being quite lean now, that you do typically wake up a little bit earlier anyway, or at least it's a little bit easier to get out of bed. But the biggest reason I think is I'm just excited, man. I do really enjoy prep, and I find when my alarm goes off at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm not really dragging my feet to get myself out of bed. I'm usually pretty excited to start my day, whether that's to get stuck into my cardio. I've done all of my cardio this week, so I actually got up early this morning to get a head start on my steps because I knew I had a lot of, had a bit of a busier day today, so I wanted to make sure I could get everything done nice and early. I find as well, if I am getting up early and I do get everything done relatively quickly, it just allows me to have a little bit of downtime in the afternoons, and I really need that, to be quite frank, especially now that I would say this week's the first week. It's starting to feel a little bit like I'm in prep for sure. The fatigue does set in around that 5 p.m. mark. Legs feel a little bit heavier, feeling a little bit more tired. So it's kind of the first week it's beginning to set in, I would say. It's still super manageable, and I wouldn't say by any means that uncomfortable. But I just like getting everything done and out of the way. So come 5 p.m, I've checked off all the boxes that I need to, and I can just sort of chill out and relax and just do whatever I want to do to keep myself busy, which right now it's been honestly a fair bit of PlayStation and gaming, because I find it's just great to stay stimulated when you're a little bit in this kind of dieting phase. Me personally, one thing I've noticed, actually, I don't know if anyone else notices this, but it seems like when girls get into preps, suddenly they all just read in hella books. Like, has anyone else noticed that? I'm seeing all these girls when they're prepping are just reading all of these books, and then guys, when they get into preps, they just get stuck into gaming. I don't know if anyone else has realized this. Please let me know if you're on the same page as me. But so that's basically where I'm at right now with things. Essentially, where we are at this current moment is I'm sitting in my car. Shock. I love sitting in my car, apparently. And I'm about to head over to Right-Aware to hit a pool day. Now, I've got Blake, a videographer, coming in to shoot today's session. I've actually asked him to put together a bit of a hype edit reel for the training session. Now, like I said to you guys, I do want to keep these super raw, just me talking to the camera, telling you about my experiences and about the prep in itself, but I definitely want to include some cool training clips. I'll try to keep it short and sweet, 5 minutes, so if you did want to watch it, you can. But like I said, a majority of the series is going to be this very format here, because like I've been saying, this is what I enjoy to watch. But once again, it is pre-workout time, so we've got the pump formula here. I've already had a black coffee today, so that was kind of the stims, and then I reckon I've eaten cream of rice on every single one of these videos thus far. So we've got our pre-workout cream of rice. Of course, we might try to keep this theme going. We might try to do a pre-workout cream of rice in every single one of these videos, because I'm on a bit of a streak at the moment. But man, this shit never gets old, I'm not gonna lie. But essentially, I'm gonna go hit pool with Blake. Excuse me, I'm hungry. Awesome. So, gonna go hit pool with Blake. He's gonna film some stuff. I love his work, man. He's a great videographer. You probably might be familiar with his stuff. If you're around the Perth scene, you likely would see him shooting with like Jeremy. He's done some stuff with like Ty, Tom Stanley as well. He's done a lot of videos for him, so you might know him. But really, really cool edits and photos. So I'm pretty excited about it. But yeah, so I got to go hit pool, and then after that I got to head down to Midland, which is pretty far, to see one of my clients because she works at a supplement store. I'm going to get sorted with some new protein, so I'll show you guys what protein I'm using at the moment and what flavors I decide to pick up. I'm going to get a few other bits and pieces to get. There's a few other bits and pieces, sorry, that I need to get from Midland Gate, and then after that I'll shoot back home and get stuck into a little bit more work. So few things to look forward to, but I thought I'll just catch up with you guys here in the car to give you this bit of an update before I get stuck into training. Now, I know this is a longer clip, so forgive me, but update on prep. So 10 weeks out, which is crazy. Been dieting for 11 weeks. I was a 120.1 yesterday, so I've dropped just over a kilo off this week from my heaviest weight off the back of the diet break. Cardio is at 20 minutes 4 times per week on the exercise bike. Steps are 10,000. Calories and macros, I actually have no idea, but I'm going to find out for you guys right now. So let me just pull this on up. So training day, I am at 280 grams of protein, 465 grams of carbs, and 44 grams of fat. And then a rest day is 260 protein, 420 carb, and 44 fat. So you can do the math and figure out the calories if you want. If you don't know, just times the protein and the carbs by 4, times the fats by 9, and you will have your calories. But you should know that. If you don't know that, there you go, a bit of education for you guys. So food's still in a pretty decent spot. Hunger's still super manageable. I will say my Zyn consumption has definitely gone up a little bit. I'm probably having maybe 2 a day, sometimes 3 if I'm feeling a little bit naughty, but I try to keep it to about 2. Definitely on a needs basis right now. Still off the vapes. I'm really not wanting to pick the vapes up this prep. They just make me feel shit. The Zyns don't really make me feel too bad, to be honest. So going strong right now, guys. But I'll pick this camera back up after the session. I'll probably roll this hype reel now, and then I will speak to you after the session, give you a rundown on how it went, and then I'll also show you what I choose to pick up from Midland Gate. I'm excited to go to Midland Gate, man. Haven't been to Midland for so long. It's just pure nostalgia. Anyway, this has been a longer clip, so I will catch you in the next one. I'm going to enjoy my cream of rice and watch YouTube because I'm an iPad kid at heart, and I just want to watch YouTube whilst I eat. So even now, talking to the camera, I don't want to eat at all because I want to watch something whilst I eat. Is anyone else like that? I don't know. I think so. All right. Catch you in the next clip. we are back in the car. So, update. I have just gotten out of Midland Gate, and I'll tell you what, guys, there was a lot of crackies today, more than what I remember. So I've picked up a few bits and pieces. Essentially, pool day's all done. Hit that shoot with Blake, so you would have seen the edit already. Massive shout out to my guy Blake. Awesome guy. Really enjoy shooting with him. Fellow enjoyer of film. So anyone that's into movies, you know, you're good in my books, being a big movie fan myself. So hit a pretty decent pool day. Of course, when I'm shooting with someone, the sessions never feel quite as intense because obviously I'm talking in between sets and whatnot, but this is where having a logbook is important. I can just rely on that, make sure I hit my numbers, and I know I'm doing enough to retain or maybe even build a little bit of muscle. I can sort of rest easy knowing that I've got that there as a fail-safe, even though it doesn't feel like I train as hard as I normally would when my headphones are in and I'm locked in. Anyway, so that's wrapped up, headed over to Midland like I said, so I wanted to pick up a couple of sups. So I'm actually going to show you guys what I grabbed, because I got a couple bits and pieces here. First and foremost, and probably the most importantly, one of the goated energy drinks of all time, Amino Energy Mango Pineapple Lime. Bit of an afternoon pick-me-up here. I'm going to be honest, I feel like this could rival a White Monster. Like, if you haven't tried this, it's so good. It's so good. Used to be my favorite drink when I was working supplements. I'd crush like one of those a day. Anyway, so we headed over to the supplement store. My client that works there hooked me up with some sups. I'm not sponsored by this company, but this is the company that I'm using. Before I talk about this company that I'm using for my protein powder, something people need to realize with protein, there is no best protein. Oh man, when I used to work supplements, constantly people would come in and be like, what's the best protein powder? It doesn't really matter. Protein is just protein. I would always encourage you to use a whey protein over vegan, unless you are vegan or you are horribly lactose intolerant. And definitely opt for a whey over a collagen. Collagen protein is not nearly optimal for protein synthesis. So any whey protein is fine. What you want to look for is one that's cost effective, one that tastes good for you, and one that digests well for you, okay? Could be a blend, could be an isolate, doesn't really matter. It's all going to do the same thing. I'm using a blend, for example, and I'm in prep. I just account for the calories. I digest a blend fine. Now, closer to the show, I'll switch over to an isolate for sure. But right now, a blend is okay, all right? So don't get so caught up over different brands and companies. Just find one that you like to drink or like to cook with, because I rarely ever drink protein. I will pretty much only ever cook with it. I pretty much only ever use it for cream of rice, to be completely honest with you. So find one that you enjoy and run with it. So this is what I'm using at the moment. I really like it. I'm using Emerald Labs, okay? This is an Elite Subs brand, their gold brand. Nothing fancy, right? Not like super expensive by any means. It's pretty affordable. Tastes good. I picked up 3 bags today. I got cookies and cream. I got Samantha strawberries and cream. That's her favorite with her oats. And then I got the golden ice cream. So it's like a golden gay time. It's pretty sweet, but right now I'm craving sweet. So I got a small bag of that as well. So that's the protein powder I'm using. Like I said, guys, quit stressing over what brand to use. Just find one you enjoy and stick with it. Now I got one other thing as well. So I recently picked up a Nintendo Switch 2 a little bit ago. Now, I'm not really a Nintendo guy. I've always just played Xbox or PlayStation, but Sam and I wanted to get a Switch, so it could be something we could play together. And now I also want to use it for when we're traveling and stuff like that. Now, the Switch is horrible to hold. It's really uncomfortable. So I was like, how can I fix this? So I picked up one of these like Elite grip things. So essentially you just like attach it to the back of the Switch, and it's got like little handles, so it's a little bit easier to hold with your hands. Because I've been playing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I know, old school, I've never played it before, in handheld, and it's been killing my hands. So I picked that up because I know we've got a bit of travel later this year, and I know I'm going to want to play it on the plane just to pass the time. And whilst I have had a bit of free time during my prep, like I said, I'm prioritizing some downtime at the end of the day. I've been enjoying playing a little bit of PlayStation, and since I finished Expedition 33, I'm playing a little bit of Nintendo Switch at the moment. Hold up, let me get a quick sip of my bevy. Anyway, moving on from that. So, once again, we're leaving the house prepared. We've got post-workout meal here. I have got 100 grams of jasmine rice raw weight. I've got 160 grams turkey breast mince raw weight, and 100 grams of fine cut coleslaw in this. So this would be my normal post-workout, okay? leaving the house prepared, right? I knew I was gonna have a big day, so today I packed my oats to have in the morning for like my second part of my breakfast. I packed my cream of rice. I got all of my intra-workout stuff sorted last night. And then I packed this meal as well, knowing that I would be eating it in the car in Midland. So leaving the house prepared, basic stuff, basic stuff, all right? And this isn't because I'm in prep. I would be doing this even in the off season. It's even more important for me in the off season to be eating on time, because if I was to be 30 minutes late to a meal, I'm going to have a horrible day trying to fit all of my calories in. So it's as important, whether you're in a diet or whether you're in a massing phase, off season, whatever you want to call it, that you leave the house prepared. Do not leave the house with a meal. Rule number one, if you have any hope of wanting to be a successful competitive athlete, that should be a very basic rule to hold yourself to. So I'm going to get this delicious cold jasmine rice and turkey breast in, and I'm honestly pretty keen for it. And I'm probably gonna put something on YouTube because, once again, I'm an iPad kid and I like to watch something while I eat. Sue me. So I'm gonna get this in, and then after this clip, very exciting, I'm gonna make this the thumbnail of the video, and it's probably why you've clicked on. I'm going to go through my current anabolic cycle for my competition prep. Now, let me preface that. Hypothetically, this is what I would be taking if I was 10 weeks out from my bodybuilding show, okay? So the next clip will likely be that. I've got a few bits and pieces to do before I shoot that clip. I've got some check-ins to get back to. I've got this meal to eat. So I'll probably film it either this afternoon or this evening, or, because this video is not going to go up for another couple of days, I might film it on Saturday or Sunday, okay? So get excited for that. We're going to break the entire thing down. I'm going into dosages, the whole lot. I never normally do that on Instagram, but I promised you guys who tune into the YouTube that I would be completely transparent with what I hypothetically would be taking. So we are going to go through that. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next clip. All right, guys, we are back in the office, my favorite place. All work is done for the day, which is great. I don't know about you guys, but I find that I just cannot relax until all of my tasks are completed. I'm a big list guy, actually, especially in prep. I've noticed I really write down everything I need to do in the day, and then I'll tick it all off. And I find that that really actually allows me to enjoy my downtime, when I know that all of my daily tasks that I mapped out for myself in the morning or have added across the day are done. I know there's nothing left for me to do, so I can truly just sit back, relax, and unwind. Because I have a hard time relaxing, and especially if there's work to be done. Like, that's the first thing I want to finish, is get responses out to all of my clients for their check-ins and all the WhatsApp messages. So I've got a bit of dry mouth at the moment from the amount of talking I've had to do today, so I do apologize. From PT this morning, straight after I launched into check-ins before my shoot, I think I knocked out about 8 check-ins straight off the bat this morning, which was good, highly productive. And then we hit the shoot with Blake, and that was about 2 hours, and we were obviously shooting the shit in between sets, a couple of talking videos. After that, headed over to Midland, chatting away to my client at the store. Back home, back on the laptop, and finishing off with another 3 or 4 check-ins this afternoon. So a busy day, lots of talking. So I'm excited just to sit down and honestly shut my mouth for a little bit and not talk anymore, to be quite frank. But I promised I would go through my current anabolic stack, and I know that's what a lot of you are likely keen to hear. But first, I'll keep the anticipation building. I wanted to show you the Switch. So we've got the Nintendo Switch 2 here, my first Switch console. I didn't have a Switch 1, if you will, or a Nintendo Switch. So I've been enjoying it. I haven't played it too much, more so just Mario Kart with Samantha, which is honestly fun, but I just wipe the floor with her every time. So if anyone is keen on versing me in Mario Kart, hit me up, you know. Although Sam's brother, when he came over and played, man, that man he's good. He's good at Mario Kart. He whooped me quite a bit, so I still got some work to do. But these are like the ergonomic grips. So you can see here, I've got something to hold on to on each side, because just holding it by itself was like killing my hands. So already this feels more comfortable. So I'm pretty excited to try this out. So once this clip's wrapped up, I'm going to park up on the couch and I'm going to jump on and smash a little bit of Zelda. Like I said, that's what I'm playing at the moment. So I'll probably chill, play that for about an hour before I need to prepare my next meal. And then I'll also prepare my pre-workout meal for tomorrow because I got legs tomorrow, which I'm already thinking about. I'm already thinking about that hack squat. I am not going backwards tomorrow. I swear to God, I will be matching my reps. And there may even be a +1 leg cards. I've been feeling this pretty good this week with training. I made some good logbook progressions today during my pull day. Interestingly enough, I actually feel a little bit better this week training-wise than I did last week, even though I was eating more food. Whether that's because we pulled out fat burners, I'm not sure. Obviously, fat burners have that stimulatory effect, and I still don't really use pre-workout. I more just rely on like a black coffee at the moment and then a non-stim. So yeah, I don't know. Training's going really well this week, surprisingly enough. Let me get a quick sip of water before we dive in because this dry mouth is killing me. All right, so let me first preface this with, this is completely hypothetical. This is what I would hypothetically do if I was a 6'7", 120 kilo bodybuilder who is 10 weeks out from competition. I also want to let you know, I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional. This is not advice. This is all satire. This is all for fun. We are just purely hypothesizing here. I do not recommend you do this. If you have an interest in using PEDs, consult a doctor, get blood work, educate yourself, and reach out to someone smarter than you, like a coach. I know a guy if you are interested. Furthermore, if you have questions, DM me, leave a comment. I'm happy to answer them to the best of my ability. So, hypothetically, what would a 120 kilo, 6'7" bodybuilder possibly be taking 6 weeks out from his bodybuilding competition? Now, I'm a nerd for it. I've got my black book here and I have wrote down all of these X's and O's from all previous phases. Like I log everything, guys. I wasn't kidding when I said I like to document stuff, both in this video format, on Instagram, and I write everything down because I like to consult back. It's all very important and useful data for future cycle designs. And this isn't just, drugs. It's also food, it's steps, it's cardio, it's blood pressure, it's resting heart rate, it's ancillaries, it's notes. I write notes on how I'm feeling this week and not necessarily like getting in my feels, but data, okay? I log everything. I want to because I want to look back at this. I want to continue to learn. I want to look back on previous phases of training so I can then structure future phases of training. So basically, I'll skip over to my hypothetical prep week. We're in week 11, so we're week 12, 10 weeks out, and this is what I would potentially take. So we'll start with the anabolics. Total androgen load is 935 milligrams per week at the moment. Testosterone and enthate is dosed at 375 milligrams, and masteron and enthate is at 560 milligrams. And I would break that up into 3 shots per week, currently Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that's it for anabolics. Growth hormone is at 5 IU, and I do that in a large bolus dosing, all in the PM before I go to bed. As far as ancillaries go, telmisartan, which is a blood pressure medication, is at 40 milligrams, and I take that in the morning. And then I also take metformin, and that is 500 milligrams, and I take that in the evening. Fat burners, clenbuterol, that's our beta-2 receptor agonist. We have that dosed at 80 micrograms first thing in the morning. I'm also using injectable L-carnitine. I also take that in the morning. That's at 400 milligrams. I actually do that IM, not sub-Q, but you can do it sub-Q. I just prefer to do it IM. Yohimbine, I take 10 milligrams before fasted cardio, also in the morning. And then I'm also using T3, so thyroid medication, just a replacement dose at 20 micrograms. I take that an hour before my stimulants and my fat burners. So I set an alarm for 3 o'clock in the morning to go off, which I would take my T3. I'll then get back to sleep, and then I'll wake up at 4 a.m. I'll take my natty fat burner, which is caffeine, alongside the Clen, the Yohimbine, and then the L-car, and then I'll chill for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then I'll jump on the bike and I'll hit my cardio, which is at 20 minutes, which we've already gone over. So hypothetically, that is what a 120 kilo, 6'7" bodybuilder may or may not be taking 10 weeks out from the competition, okay? Or 10 weeks out from my competition, rather. So once again, I do not advise this. I do not encourage this. This is not what you should be taking. Your cycle design should be mapped out based off of you, your own experience level, how much you weigh, and then also your potential for side effects. There's no one size fits all when it comes to these things. So it's really not much use just copying what some fucking guy on YouTube does. I would heavily recommend against that. So I will give you guys another update in the future. Once again, I'm all about being transparent with the process here. There's no smoke and mirrors with me. I'll answer any questions that you have with regards to anything to do with my prep. I don't care. I'm happy to divulge it to the best of my knowledge and my ability. So that will wrap up the video for today. Thank you for following along, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the edit that my man Blake cooked up. I will link his Instagram in the description down below. So definitely go and drop him a follow. And if you're in the Perth area and you're interested in getting some fitness content created, definitely hit my guy up. Another one that you'll be looking out for is Framed by Dante, my main homie. He couldn't do the vid today because he's away enjoying Europe, but rest assured there'll be plenty of content coming from me with his help in the future. Like I said, I've got something exciting coming up here in just a week, so stay tuned for that. I'm very excited about it. A little bit nervous, if I'm being honest, now that it's getting closer, but I don't want to give away too much here. So you will find out in about a week what that is. Anyway, guys, thank you again for watching the video. I do appreciate the support. Like, comment, share it, subscribe if you want me to continue to put these videos out. I'm really enjoying making them. I love not being confined to a 30-second reel, and I'm enjoying this opportunity to show my personality, share my experiences, and just talk candidly about the process and about something I truly love, which is bodybuilding. And I know I have a lot of value to give, both with regards to the mindset of bodybuilding and then also having you guys see truly what it's like to undertake a competition prep like this, all the highs, and eventually I'm sure there will be a couple of lows as well, which is all a part of the process. So thank you again, guys. I do truly appreciate it. I will catch you in the next video.